What's up, tubers? It's your boy Ichi, and in this video, I'm going to be taking apart the Xbox One controller. I've done this kind of video for you with the PS3 controller and the PS4 controller, so I felt like it was important with the Xbox One controller because a lot of you guys are going to be trying to figure out what you need to do to mod it. So, without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So I've got the controller here, and this is the one that came with the actual console, so there's nothing, funky going on with it. There are some screw points and there's some special tools that you do need to take this guy apart if you don't want to damage it. So let's talk about those first. The first thing you're going to need is a security Torx. And if you look here, you see how it's got the little hole in it right there. You definitely need that because the screws that are inside of the Xbox One controller have that little hole, so you need to be able to key into that in order to turn it. This is a T9 Torx security head bit, I guess is the best way to say it, and I just got it in my standard screwdriver. Now, this particular driver might be a little bit too big to get in there. We'll see once I open it up, but you just have to kind of maneuver around it, and I don't think that the screws are super tight either, so this should be able to work. The other thing that you're gonna need is your flathead screwdriver, and you need a flathead so you can scrape the sticker out from the inside, because from my understanding of how this is done, there is a screw that lives under the battery cover. And of course, you will need a soldering iron just in case you need to unsolder any rumble motors or anything. So let's start taking it apart. The first thing you'll use is the back cover, and as you can see, there is a kind of a little sticker in here that says Xbox Wireless, and if you look there, you can see the indentation that I made. There is a screw up under there, so I'm gonna take that one out first, and I'm just gonna puncture around it, kind of like a piñata. And I did this because I don't want to take everything off, because there's just really not a point to it. I don't want to damage any more than I have to. I just want to expose that there is a screw in there. Now, you guys can do whatever you want. If you want to completely peel this out and try to re-stick it, that's up to you. I'm not, studying trying to reuse it, so I just bust through the plastic right there. I'm sorry, trying to reuse this label, excuse me. So I just bust straight through it. You do need this because if you look in there, there's a little dot in the middle of that screw, and you need this to go into that little dot. And if you got the right screwdriver, it should come apart fairly easily. The next thing you want to do is you want to take off both of these end caps. So the easiest way to do that is to grab it right in this line right here and just pull straight back, and it should pop right off. Grab the other one. Don't be shy, but this one here is on. Give it a little bit of force, and it should pop right off with no major issues. Did I break that arm? No. Just wanted to make sure I didn't break anything, and I didn't. Pops right off, no major issues. Now, we've got screw points right here, here at the bottom, here at the bottom, and right here. So you've got to stick a driver in there in order to remove those 4 screws. So we're gonna do that now, and you basically find the screw head and start unscrewing, and they should come out fairly easily. You do want to use a security Torx, because if you don't, you run the possibility of damaging your product, your controller. And let me go ahead and pull back a little bit to give you guys a better view. So you definitely want to use the right screwdriver, very important. And you see how tight of a fit this is with mine? These bottom screws are going to be a bitch, I can tell you now, because they are not nearly as exposed as these top 2 screws were. That's okay, we're going to work with it and hopefully still be able to get the job done. Here's the deal, you see that doesn't fit at all, so I've got to come at this at an angle, and hopefully I can hook it, and I was able to without a whole lot of drama. And there it is. Pretty straightforward. And oh, this thing's not magnetic, boo. One more. Another thing is you may not be able to get the security Torx in your town. You might not. So if this is something that you're going to be doing a lot of, I would definitely recommend ordering the right screwdriver, because I just got one that'll do the job. Okay, once you get those screws out, the faceplate will come off. This is cool if you want to do any kind of painting with it, and it's just a piece of plastic. Comes off pretty straightforward, and it reveals the inner workings of the actual controller here. The next thing we're going to do, and I've never done this before, guys, is just pull straight back. And if you pull straight back, a couple things that I'm already seeing is you see where the battery connectors are, and here's the back plate. Pretty straightforward if you want to paint that as well. All right, so the next thing that I see straight away from the front are the two analogs, and they just pop right off. And they're just standard analogs. This plastic feels really cheap, the bottom portion of it, but the rubber's nice. There's this weird chrome thing right around the D-pad, and I don't know exactly what that does, but my understanding here is that I should be able to pry this guy right up and off of here. So I'm gonna take my flathead and start going to work in here and see if I can unhinge this somehow or another, some way that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes. I pulled down and forward a little bit, and it popped right up, and it's just a little hinge system, and it's metal, so you don't want to bend this or play with it too much. So my recommendation would be to lay this just the way you found it up top. That way there's no question when you take it, when you put it back on. There's your D-pad. I'm gonna put those two articles together so I know they go together. The next thing I'm gonna do is see what else I can pop off really easily. Again, I've never done this, so I'm taking it apart. All right, there's a front one as well. So I'm gonna use my little screwdriver here and lift up on, in order to take these shoulder buttons off, there's two circles here, and you just wanna lift up on it, and it should be ready to pop off. Take your time, guys. Again, don't tear up your controller, because, you know, these things cost a lot of money, and you see how that's coming up out of there, and it lifts right up off of there. These things cost a lot of money, and you do not, I repeat, you do not want to tear this thing up unless you have to. I take my stuff apart and show you, so you don't have to, you know, go through the trials and tribulations of breaking anything. So please take heed as warnings come out. That pops right out of there. You have to have a screwdriver of some sort to pop this stuff loose. Otherwise, you're gonna be in some trouble. But yeah, please take heed to my warning. Don't get yourself jacked up. Now, why in the hell ain't this coming out? All right, so I popped this off, and I just want to check to make sure I didn't break anything. Doesn't look like I did. This is actually tape in here. You see this glue-looking substance, or this silver-looking substance is tape, so it's actually just double-sided stuck down. And the only thing that really holds that surround for the Xbox button in are these two guys here, 1 and 2. So just be gentle, apply a little bit of pressure, and this surround will pop up. But yeah, it's just tape. See, stuck to me. All right, in order to take this screw and this screw off, you need a Torx. And let me see which size you need. Cut that down there. Be one of these. Not that one. That was a little big. Let's try this one. Perfect. You need a T6 for those. So just so you guys know, so I used right now a T9 for the big screws and a T6 for these inside screws, and these are not security screws, so nothing to worry about there, guys. They're just regular old screws. grab them out of here. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or not, guys. I have to look when I go back and review this video, but a pair of tweezers will probably not be a bad idea. The next thing you want to look at is how these motors are run, and I'm going to unsolder everything. So as you look here, black is on the outside, gray is on the inside, black outside, gray inside, red on top here, red's on the bottom on the opposite side, and there's a little plus to indicate where power goes. So this is where your soldering iron comes in handy. You just go in here, and I'm going to take everything off the board. Be very careful, because you don't want to get into a situation where you are soldering things together by accident. Alright, now that we've got the actual board loose, we've got 2 rumble motors here, and we can go ahead and start removing and make sure everything is out of there. Just slightly pull apart, and you can pull apart the 2 boards which are joined together. And I just popped the 2 of them loose, and I just did a little tug from the side because they're connected by this little thing and this little thing. Actually, there's 2 of them. They're married together, and that'll take this board loose, which is the back board or the secondary board. We'll put that over to the side. Still got a little bit more stuff to take out. This thing has a lot of moving pieces. I need to use that. I guess I need to use this. These are, again, T6 screws, and keep up with your screws so you'll know what goes back where. Like this video, guys, because it's like 4 in the morning, and I just wanted to get this video done. I'm dead tired, but I decided to do it for you. All right, here's your main board in all its glory. This is your L1, R1, what they bump into these little switches here, which is really cool, kind of like monetary switches. You know what that is? That's your D-pad. So where analog peeks through. And on the back, everything looks like it's supposed to look. So I'm gonna lay that down normal. I'm gonna go in here and start removing this little rubber bit. And what's cool is that it's one piece. So I do like that a lot. Here's that big lumpy Xbox button, and it's pretty cool. It's a good size, but it's pretty cool. And then you've got your face buttons, and I have no idea how these things go. So let me take a picture. It lasts longer. That's one of those buttons. That's how they go, Y on top, A on the bottom, X and B. We're gonna drop all of those buttons out, and the 2 buttons that were here as well, which are 2 new buttons for the Xbox controller. There they go there. I'm at a loss for how to take these out. You can take them apart pretty easily though there's 3 screws in here. There is 1 at the top. There's 2 screws, 1 here and 1 here. So you can go, if I had the right screwdriver, here and unscrew this guy. 1. Then there's 1 more. 2, just in case you ever want to expose this rumble motor, because I'm not really exactly sure how to completely take it off. So whenever I'm not sure and it's not that big of a deal, I don't screw around with it. So this just pops off at that point, and it exposes this rumble motor, which is inside, in case any of you guys want to see that. And if you're seeing this for the first time, please like this video, because this is a lot of parts and pieces to be able to show you guys. And what's cool about this little motor is you can see there it's soldered on the back. I guess one is a positive, one is a negative, and it's just a little bit small motor. And this is the housing for it. And it's got its own spring relay here. Something just fell off. So as you push it, it bounces back. Just lost this button here, which I guess is the sync button. Say that correctly, the sync button. And I'm fairly sure there's an opening right here that this thing just slides in this crack here, like so. But we'll sit that on the table as well. So yeah guys, that is my teardown of this particular controller, the Xbox One. Let me know if you guys got any questions. Let me know if there's anything that you think I missed. Love to hear from you. Next video, we're gonna put it back together.